Welcome to 5 HR Essentials for your online business. My name is Michelle Raymond, and I'm going to be before you for a short while to share with you some of my expertise on why I believe that HR is important to your growing business. So, a little bit about me. I run the company, a consultancy called The People's Partner, which is a HR and coaching consultancy based in London in the UK. Not only do I do HR consultancy, but I'm also a visibility strategist, where I work with entrepreneurs and small business owners who want to leverage their skills and become more visible so that they make an impact in the world and get paid for it. I also do international speaking and travel the world speaking on topics such as this, HR, and also visibility. And I deliver training and workshops around the same topics. So I want you to take this time to add me on LinkedIn, because once we connect, I will be able to share any resources with you and share my networks with you so that we can all share and help each other. So, why am I doing this? Why is this important? So the first thing I want you to do is to pause, to take a step back and a deep breath, and to take a bird's eye view of your business, on where it's going, on the need to scale and to grow. What does that look like? This might be a time of reflection when you need to see what your business really needs to move to the next step. So what do you need to prepare? What changes do you need to make in your business once that perspective has been made? What next step do you need to identify which needs to be done so that you achieve success? And how do you protect and support your online business as it grows? If you're a one-man band, but you want to grow, you might need to start thinking about taking on staff or freelancers. What does that look like, and how will they affect your employer brand? So I guess you're thinking, but do I really need HR? I'm a small business. I'm an online outfit. Why would I need HR? But I can guarantee you that HR is going to be vital in supporting you in any unprecedented changes in terms of your business strategy. That's what they do best. That's what I do best. HR is probably now the most valuable asset in your organization, because as decisions change, as your strategy changes and implementation and you grow, all of this will be affected by your organization and the future of it. And this is why even online businesses need even a little bit of HR help. So let's look at these in turn. What do you want to achieve? And what do you need to know now as a business? Because HR has the responsibility to design the workforce and the culture that best suits the needs of your company. And because of that, we have the experience, we're trained in these areas, so we know how to make companies innovate and adapt in preparation for scale. Even though you're online, there might be some activities that you do in person. And HR is good, and HR comes into its own when it's around strategy and growth and implementation. We partner with the business so you don't need to overcomplicate things. So as you grow, you might be looking at recruiting your own staff or even outsourcing. But HR understands and anticipates organizations' talents. And we understand what your company needs, and to balance that workforce by matching the right employees with the right positions according to their qualifications. But not just the qualifications, but also the talent and the culture add. Not necessarily culture fit, but culture add. So we're making sure that your hiring processes are both diverse and inclusive. We take into account your recruitment strategy and the strategic direction that your business is going in. We look at the cost of hiring, because if you hire the wrong person and put them in the wrong position, it will cost you more than if you got the right person in. So we have experience in doing that. We have a network of resources. We're well networked, we're trained, qualified, and experienced. So as your online business grows, you want to start thinking about, what aspects of my business can I now outsource to somebody else? And as we look at outsourcing, we might even want to look at compliancy and contracts, but we're going to come back to that later. So the third area might be training. How do we upskill our current team? How do you remain competitive if your team skills are not being upskilled, upgraded? If everybody's doing the same thing, the same way they've always done, how do you remain competitive? How do you experience that growth? So with the training presents a prime opportunity to expand the knowledge base of your employees. But many employers find that development opportunities are expensive. I get that. And as a small business, you don't want to be spending hundreds and thousands of pounds on recruitment and recruitment ads and headhunters and recruitment agencies. But what you can do is buy in the service of of an outsourced HR department, where they would look for the right people in your team. They will train and develop your existing team at a more cost-effective price. What we do best is address employee weaknesses. And then we improve employee performance through structured training and development, so that your company, your business can grow. And you don't even need to worry about that, because that's what HR will handle for you. And the fourth area is compliance and governance. So I mentioned it before, even if you're outsourcing, you have to make sure that you have the right contracts in place. Now, there are different contracts. You have statement of particulars, which is an employment contract that needs to be given to your staff within the week of them starting, from day one. Before, the law said it had to be 2 months, but now it's from day one. So do you have your contracts ready for your employee to start? And if you're not hiring employees full-time or part-time and you're outsourcing, even outsourced staff need to have a contract in place, and it could be called contract for services. And there are certain terms that need to be in those contract for services. There are numerous laws and regulations that govern the employment relationship that HR professionals must understand and navigate in order to help ensure that online businesses avoid costly fines and penalties. So employment law changes twice a year, and it's the onus and the responsibility is on your HR to make sure that they keep updated. We have CPD, continuing professional development. There's different frameworks that we have to abide to, different principles, and those are then fed into our clients that we serve, people like you, online businesses. And we have to make sure that you are compliant, that you are following the letter of the law. Even if it's not to do with staff, it's how you run your business. Compliance with HMRC, compliance with business essentials. And the fifth area that I wanted to share with you is GDPR. GDPR was massive in 2019, but it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed, and it's not just not just focused on in terms of what types of employees you're getting in and how you look after their data. GDPR is prevalent throughout the whole business stream. And HR has a role in supporting that, in making sure that your privacy policies are up to date. GDPR requires your information, your data processing to be up to date, to be compliant, your processes to be transparent, and security. Looking at your security measures. Now that everything is online, how is data being transferred? Who has access to that data? What provisions are being made? Who's in charge? Who are your data processors? Who are your data owners? All of these things your HR department should have oversight of to make sure that you're compliant, that you're falling in line with governance, as well as file management, personnel files. Who has access to these personnel files? Who shouldn't have access? All of these things need to be considered now that you've moved into an online space. So although I said I'm only going to share 5 things with you, I've got a bonus. This is organizational design development. This is just getting you to think about who or what is business critical. What is in your business right now, you have to have. Without it, your business will not survive. What needs to be done to raise your productivity? What are you spending too much time doing, which is either wasting your time or not a good use of your time? How do you remain competitive in a world where 90% of organizations are moving online? How do you stand out in a crowded market? You may want to listen to my other training on how to raise your visibility in a crowded market, because you will see that there are aspects there which I talk about that you're going to find really useful. And what are your key business metrics? Are you recording your data metrics? Do you know how much money you should be making each year? Do you know where your leads are coming in from? Do you understand your conversion rate? So as we look at the future, we're talking about the new normal. And as you can see, I use these images to represent the new normal. It could be you working from home. It could be you working in a siloed effect. It could be you doing more training and development and working with your clients online, virtually, in a remote setting. But even though it may be the new normal, even though it might be in a remote setting, you still need to make sure you have compliance and governance. You still need to make sure that your employer brand is on point as it was before everything happened. You need to make sure you protect your employer brand, even though you're moving online. Think about your candidate experience, your customer journey. What is your employer value proposition? During uncertain time, people are seeking stability. Does your offer, does your product, does your service, does your business offer stability? Once again, how do you remain visible when everybody's screen time is high? How do you promote your brand now? How do you tap into that engaged market? And how do you attract an audience that is ready to serve your mission? HR is essential more than ever before. So what I want to offer you is access to my free home working policy. So if you do have staff, or if you know anybody else that has staff, they may need to update their policy in line with where we are in society, what's happening in society now. So I want to give you free access to my home working policy. And if you want even more support, jump on a call with me and I will help provide you with some HR tips that you may need for your growing business. It will cost you absolutely nothing. Feel free to take a picture of that, a snapshot of that, and book your call with me. So I want to leave you with this quote. You don't need to build a business. You build people. And then those people will build your business. I'll say that again. You don't build a business, but you build the people. And your people will help build the business. Because this whole relationship, this whole business growth is all based on people. People relationships is what they call the H to H, the human to human contact. So allow HR to help you build those people so that they can help you build your business. So feel free to get in touch. You can connect with me on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, Instagram, or feel free to drop me an email at michelle@thepeoplespartner.com. It's been an honour and my privilege to be able to share this with you, the 5 HR essentials that you need for your online business.